Welcome back everyone, it is Blaze back with the first 2K21 video of the year. I'm very excited. It's only a couple hours now until the demo comes out and we're going to be going through the NBA 2K21 Myteam courtside report. So this is the developer blog that they've put out, just highlighting some of the new features, how they've revamped some old ones, and yeah, just going into a little bit of detail about all the awesome things we can look forward to this year. So first of all, as you've probably all heard, 2K21 comes out on September 4. So that's in a bit over a week now, which is very exciting. It's very soon. And you can get on your current generation, so PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and that'll upgrade to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And only my team carries over. My career and all of that other stuff, my league, I don't think that carries over. But all of your my team stuff, so your progress and domination, triple threat, all your VC, MT tokens, any evolution cards, everything you've got in my team will all carry over when you get the new console. But you have to stay within the same family, so PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, Xbox One to Xbox Series X, etc. And that's all pretty straightforward. Yeah, so that'll be really good for those of you getting 2K on release day. You don't have to worry about losing any of your stuff. The first big feature that they're adding is seasons. So it's a new thing that they're bringing in this year. It's a new mechanism they're introducing, which is free for everyone. You don't have to pay for it. And the main things about them is that they're roughly 6 weeks long. You get new prizes each season, and they're looking to incorporate new things into each season as well to kind of freshen up the gameplay a little, I think. They've said they're going to deliberately be vague, not so they don't give us too many spoilers. But yeah, there's going to be some rewards that people are going to be wanting apparently. There's going to be spotlight sims and other challenges and things like that. But yeah, they're really hoping that each season will feel fresh, and that it'll keep everyone excited about the game and keen to get into the stuff that they have. So they go on to say that each season will be roughly 6 weeks in length, and you'll be working to complete daily, weekly, and seasonal based agendas, which will earn you XP. And just like in numerous other games where you've got like a battle pass or a season pass sort of a thing, you level up and you get rewards for each level. They've given us an image of the completion for the first season. So level 38, you can get yourself 25 tokens. Level 39, you get 1 Hall of Fame badge, which we'll touch on badges a bit later. And to max out the first season, you'll get a pink diamond 96 overall point guard Stephen Curry, which I'm going to be very keen to get, especially for early game, having someone that can shoot that well. And from what they've said, it's just from playing. You don't have to pay for it. This screen also gives us a few other pieces of information. Each season will have a name from what I can see. The first one is One Will Rise, and it looks like you need 150,000 experience, at least in the first season, to max that out, which I imagine is quite a lot. They're not going to make it easy to do, I don't think. It also gives us the first kind of insight into what the HUD's going to look like and all the menus and stuff, and I think they're looking really fresh actually. I'm very excited to see what the other things look like. Yeah, so some other things that they're introducing are new vault prizes in triple threat every season. So they're bringing back the vault, which I think overall was a pretty big success this year, considering how quickly they had to rush it in after changing from the casino wheel. So yeah, that's really exciting. And they've also changed from what they did this year. So in 2K20, start of the year, in triple threat offline, there was 1,000 wins. There was 1,000 wins to get the maximum reward, which was that Opal Dominic Wilkins, and people did that in like a couple weeks. Like, people would finish that so quickly, and very quickly those cards were outdated and nobody was using them. So they've changed it up this year. They're going to only make 300 wins available on the first ladder, on the win ladder for the first season. And so when you complete that, they won't accrue additional wins to your tally, but you can continue chasing the vault prizes. And hopefully they're going to introduce more vault prizes so that it's not just like 1 token or 500 MT, because that gets pretty boring when you're playing like 5-6 minutes and that's all you're getting. But I'm very excited to see what sort of things they put in, whether they might put in more diamond contracts or unique players that are only available like they did this year, or just have a wider variety of things that you can get. But I like the general idea of kind of capping it each season so that you don't have people just like, so the game mode won't get dry straight away that way, which I think is really good. And apparently the first win, or the 300 wins reward, is a diamond card that you're going to want. So we'll see whether we end up grinding for that early. We don't know yet, There's a lot of options. So they go on to say that in consecutive seasons, they're going to add more wins. So something like 450 wins in Season 2. So another 150 to add on, with another prize for doing that, which I think is a really good idea. And also help kind of fit in with the season idea that they're introducing. So I see it as an absolute win. Like, you can get better prizes that'll match the time and effort that you're putting into it. Something else they've changed this year, they're giving new boards in Triple Threat Online. And because if any of you were playing Triple Threat Online this year, you'd know that you'd get to those like game 4 and 5 ball drop games, and you just get absolute nothing. Like, you'd get like 200 MT and 6 tokens or something, and it was awful. It's like you've spent like half an hour, 40 minutes to get max out the board and you get nothing. So they're updating the boards, and they're going to speed up the ball drops, which could honestly sometimes would take 3 or 4 minutes just for one ball drop. And when you got 4 or 5 of them, you're sitting there for half an hour just dropping the ball. So along with the other things they're adding with the season is they're giving unique prizes for one of the new game modes, Myteam Limited, which we'll get to in just a sec. They're also doing new updates for Unlimited, which has done they've overhauled that game mode apparently, which is really good, because there was so many issues in Unlimited this year, whether it was server issues or just poor matchmaking. It just got so sweaty at the end of the year, and it's not that fun if you're a casual player. They've added new combinations to the exchange, which is another very big new feature that I'm very interested to get into, to see how that one kind of fits in with the auction house and how that's going to affect the market. Domination isn't just going to be something you do at the start of the year this year either. By the looks of it, they're going to make it a seasonal thing, that there's going to be new tiers, new games to play with challenges, which is very exciting, given it's normally the thing that you spend the first week and a half doing, and then you don't touch domination for the rest of the year because it's against the CPU, and who wants to play that? They're also adding new cards to the token market, the reward market, every season, which is fantastic, because for so many months the community was like, when are we getting a token market update? So now we know it'll be every 6 weeks we're going to get new cards that are relevant to how the game's going, up-to-date cards that are actually usable as well, which is really important. So on to Myteam Limited, one of the new game modes for 2K21. It's only going to be available on the weekends. So it's similar to Unlimited in the sense that it's 5v5 against other people online, and you're chasing championship rings. But you have to use a limited lineup, so that they've given the example of you might have to use players that are 23 years or younger. So it's going to make some really interesting combinations and events that they're going to offer, which I hope will spice up casual gameplay and even competitive gameplay. It'll really test the skill of players, I think. So that's certainly a big draw card for me, as I've been trying to get more into Unlimited in 2K20, so hopefully we'll get onto that in 2K21. As I mentioned, there's championship rings, which are up for grabs. So they've said that when you win a game, you can either take a prize, or you can trade it in for one of the mystery prizes. which could be better or worse. And one of the mystery prizes could be the ring, one of the championship rings. And they've said that they're going to make difficult decisions for us to pick. So it's not just going to be like, oh, 10 tokens or 200 MT. Like, I'm curious to see what they're offering. And they've given us a glimpse of what this menu looks like too. So one of the game conditions they've given is 3 3-point contest participants, like 5 current NBA players, and by the looks of it, it's like a 5 or 6 week thing. To get the grand prize, you need 1 ring each week, so that's certainly interesting. I'm really liking the card art too. It's fresh. It's a good take on the rest of the HUD, so hopefully they've upped the game again this year, because this year 2K20's card art was fantastic. Sorry, that's off topic. Yeah, so they've added that over the weekend, and the grand prize will be very, very highly regarded and important, and it's going to be difficult to come up against online. Overall, Myteam Limited looks like it's going to be a very fresh look on the game, and hopefully will help separate casual online players from competitive, which I think is really needed, because other than Unlimited, which was sweaty competitive 5v5, there's not really any way to play 5v5 against people, and not having to be worrying about a 12-0 thing. Speaking of 12-0, Myteam Unlimited, that is where we are looking at. They've said there's going to be 9 leagues that you have to play through to be able to actually go 12-0 to get that grand prize. So they've said that you'll need a certain number of wins to get up to the next league. So first league, 3 out of 12. After that 3rd win, you go on to the next league, which would put you then 4 out of 12, 5 out of 12. I think it's just going to work that if you win 12 straight, you get the maximum prize. I'm not sure, or whether you have to go 3 wins, then 4 wins, then 5 wins, or whatever. But I mean, it is over a season, so over 6 weeks, I think that should be doable for those of you that like playing that sort of more competitive game mode. But there's also a lot of XP you'll probably get from that, which will help with your season level. So playing it is probably a whole lot more worth it than it was this year. Even if you do lose and you don't get the prize you're wanting, it will be helping you level up for the season, which is really good. On to the exchange. This is probably the thing I'm most curious about 2K21, is this new feature called the exchange. They apparently had a lot of difficulty naming it, which I can understand why, because to try and encapsulate the idea of it does sound rather challenging. So the general gist of it is that you can take some cards you've got that you might not use and exchange them for other things. So they might want you to trade in a Western Conference point guard rated 90 or higher and an Eastern Conference point guard rated 90 or higher to earn a higher rated player. This allows them to actually do some really, really cool combinations and help out those people that maybe are grinding collector level and have a whole lot of extra cards after the end of the year that they can just trade in, things like that. Yeah, no, and they've given us a little glimpse of what that looks like too. So by the looks of it, for 47 trade-ins or whatever it's talking about, you can get a Pink Diamond Bob koozie, which I'm sure early game is going to be very good. There's also this other sticker that I've noticed on a couple of the screenshots they've given us, where it's talking about an original owner. I think that might be talking about cards that you've pulled out of packs, whether that's ones you've paid for or free packs and pre-order. I think that's what it means. So like, you might have to trade in 16 Emerald players that you've pulled from packs and that have that sticker to get that tier or whatever the exchange will be. I'm not really sure how that works. That's all they've given us. But I'm curious to see what impact this has on the auction house, which they haven't actually said anything about in the blog. So interested to see whether there's any changes coming there, or whether it's going to be the same as this year, which I won't mind because it was pretty good this year. I just hope they don't have the server problems. The next big thing is this year they've brought back badge customization, which I think is a fantastic thing, because 2K20 having set badges, like, you would just get cards that are so overpowered, or cards that are then useless because they don't have quick draw or clamps. So giving you that ability to customize a player, I think is a really good idea. And I'm very glad they brought it back, actually, because it worked well in 2K19. And so of course you've got the range from bronze, silver, gold, Hall of Fame, and you have to upgrade them in that consecutive order to be able to do that. They've also said that Hall of Fame badges are going to be like a real game changer and more rare. And you can't just put anything on anyone, which is an improvement from 2K19, I think. Because yeah, they've said here it doesn't make much sense to apply brick wall badge to Steph Curry, right? Which I think is also really good. So it means you won't be able to put like quick draw on Shaq and have him greening threes like he could this year, because he was a broken card with badges. So that will hopefully improve gameplay a lot, and we won't have so many broken cards that can do things that are just super unrealistic. Like, it's a fine balance between fun because it's slightly unrealistic and just completely broken, and there's no realism to the card at all. So I'm keen to see what they do with it and how it works out for us in the end. But onto Evolutions, which is also getting a revamp. In its second year in the game, it was probably the best thing they added in 2K20. It was really good, especially in the first kind of 3/4 of the year while they were still relevant. Evolutions really made the game different because you weren't just playing mindlessly. You were playing with goals and things you're trying to achieve. I think it's a really good thing that they brought in, and I'm happy to see that they're improving it and making it more malleable for us players, because now you can customize players and give them things that you get more choice in that evolutionary path. So the example they've given us here is Shaquille O'Neal. He looks like one of the starters as well, which is interesting. I'm curious to see who the other four are, where you can pick an athletic upgrade or a defensive upgrade, and each has its associated stat increases and probably badge increases down below they haven't shown us. So you can choose to have a more offensively targeted player or defensively focused player, which I think it's going to completely change gameplay as well, because you can all of a sudden have a team that's defensively focused of like one lot of cards, and you could have the same team that's focused the complete opposite, ready to go at your will. I wonder whether you can then have multiple of the same card in your collection to have different upgrades. I don't think so, but I wonder. You never know. They could drop that on us. And so I think that's really gonna change up how people look at evolutions and how people think about playing their cards, which is exciting to see. They've also given us this new reward, which they haven't really told us heaps about and how it's implemented, but it's called Ascension. So it's a different sort of reward. It's a three levels of rewards, and you get a certain number of cards you can flip, and there will be cards that send you up to the next level, or a very high level card for free that you can get, and once you get up to the top of Ascension each season, there'll be a really top level must-have player, but of course you have a limited number of picks to get up to the next tier and find the grand prize. But some of the cards might be additional picks, so you don't run out, but it's going to be they've said that all the rewards are going to be useful, so it's not going to be useless unless you get the good cards. And they've given us a screenshot to kind of look at it, which shows Bob Lanier's the grand prize on the top board, and it seems to be a 6x6, so there's 36 cards per level, and they've shown one reward as a free base league pack. Which, I mean, free packs are good packs, right? Yeah, so we're not really sure how you earn those picks, but I'm sure that'll become apparent pretty soon after the game comes out. That Boblinier is going to be pretty hot property early on too, especially if it's kind of random luck on you picking the cards, so look out for that one when you're playing online. They've also said that you can get like MT multipliers, which is another interesting thing, so I wonder whether that is applied just on the like card flips or whether that's on any game mode. They also say down here that between the season level prize, the unlimited prize, the limited prize, and the triple threat offline prize, and the ascension prize, well, that's 5 pink diamonds straight away. So if you're playing the game a lot, you can have a pink diamond lineup in the first season, which is pretty crazy. I hope they don't release opal cards so early, but it does look like that might be the case. So we'll have to see what happens, because they've also hinted at something else which I'll touch on in a minute. But before that, this year they're deciding that we had Prime Series in 2K20 and the 20th anniversary in 2K19. This year we've got the Idol Series, which is going to be similar to Prime Series. It's going to be 3 sets of 5 cards, and it's going to include the first pullable pink diamond in September. So that's pretty early for a pink diamond. But yeah, they're going to be the best cards available in the mode at the time of their release. So just like this year, watch out for them. They're going to be pretty hot property. And the first series, like Idol Series 1 set reward, is a Galaxy Opal card that we're going to want apparently. So for you big ballers out there, they're the cards to be going for. They've also given us a few other highlights. So promo packs, if you've got the pre-order, then you're going to get a whole bunch of free packs, which I think is pretty obvious in all the promotion and stuff when you do pre-order. If you haven't, pre-order is still live until the 29th, I believe, off the top of my head, so make sure you get in before it comes out. They're also putting in signature challenges, which is kind of like what we had with the Kobe challenges, like had to hit 81 points or a certain number of threes, like a significant moment in an NBA player's career. And they've said that we as a community will get to choose those players and those moments and memorable games and things. Something that I've been saying for a couple of years now, mainly this last year, that's just it's not a major thing, but it's a small thing that'll significantly improve the vibe of the game, is being able to like track evolution stats and objectives, which they're introducing with this subjective tracker. You can, you can tag up to 9 agendas or goals, and you'll be able to see them while you're in game, and it'll tell you when you've accomplished them, so you don't have to remember how many points or assists you need. It'll be really easy to find that out, which I think is awesome, because I always had to write down what I needed to do in the game, and it got frustrating sometimes. Something I've seen a lot of talk about is this new, they've given us 2 sentences: dark matter. Astrophysical observations indicate that dark matter makes up as much as 85% of our known universe, yet it has never been observed directly. Maybe that'll change given time, ... Could we see a card tier above Galaxy Opal? Is that a possibility? It could be. I don't know. But the fact that they've put that in there tells me, and how they're saying how early they're going to be releasing Galaxy Opals, I just think they've reworked the tiers, and the Opal is not going to be the top tier card. And I'm curious to see what they do. Instead of the Fireball, 2K21 is doing the holographic ball, which I think is going to look even cooler than the Fireball. The Fireball was awesome, and yep, that's another thing that we'll be able to kind of be grinding for on the side. And other than that, I mean, there's a challenge in 2K20 that you can do to get a free pack. But other than that, I think that is about all that's in the blog. Yeah. So yeah, the demo is coming out in an hour from when I'm recording this, and I'm very excited to see what 2K21 is going to be like. I'm jumping on the Myteam grind again this year. No money spent as usual, and going to be pumping out videos for you guys, and hopefully regularly, as well as streaming most days of the week. I'll have my links for that in the description. Yeah, if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think of all the new features they're adding, and also what I should be grinding for first, because there is so many options that I can go with. So appreciate you guys watching this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.